during the get to know you conversations, it's okay to speak about your wants. Hey, look, I've been single for a while. I'm looking to work towards something here. I'd love to go out with you. I'm enjoying your vibe, your energy. You go out, you talk, and maybe you talk about things like, I don't know, music or art or whatever interests you. And then if he asks you back to your place, and like say he mentions a musical artist he loves, and you're like, yeah, that's my guy, or that's my.
You know what I think? I think you create in this own space, and I think you create in this own temperature in your own mind, because I believe that you think that every man that you meet is out to get you and out to get your vagina, right? But I don't think every man is like that. I could be wrong. I could be right. But by this conversation, I feel like you are the one that's creating that space and that environment. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna say this to you, right? We live in a time and an era that is very overly sexualized, right? And it takes about a week for most men to get vagina from a woman. Right? So I'm just being honest, right? Most men that talk to girls, they talk to them with that intention, because that's the pace of our society right now. Yeah. Right? But I don't think that you met men that all they want from you is that. I think you're creating that in your own mind. Yes, the person might want to have sex with you or sexually engage with you, but I don't think that's all that they want from you. I think you're creating that in your own mind.
Okay, so how am I supposed to know that? If the
by what Bella said. Bella said you have to do your own work, and you have to create your own narrative. And it's not. It don't
show me.
It don't always have to be.
Act like I'm blind.
It don't always have to be. It don't always have to be that somebody's out to get you, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And like I said, at your age, you got enough time to do that. You have enough time to really get to know who you are.
And let me say this: you young, but you're not really all that young. Like to be saying, you know what I'm saying? I get what Bella is saying, but I really don't, because I feel like other cultures and other ethnic groups, they be married at like 22, 23. They be married. They be in a whole marriage already.
Especially in
I feel like we as black people are the only people that really be looking at it as, yo, we got time. I could be 35.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? But really and truly, nobody wants to marry a 45-year-old or a fucking, unless it's your second marriage, and you know what I'm saying, y'all at the same place or whatever the case may be, or a 32-year-old. Like, think about majority. There's a lot of women who at 30 years old took hella fucking dick before they got to 30.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, shit. That's true, man.
I think it's really important that you communicate.
So, communicate how? Just telling me you wanna fuck.
Hey, ask a question. What we doing? You got the right to. If you're talking to somebody and you're investing, even the first conversation is us investing time with a person. The first conversation you have with a person, that you have sat there and invested some of your time with them. And if you up here talking to them and they talking to you, y'all communicating back and forth with each other, ask honest questions.
The reason why I said what I said just now is because I'm listening to you talk, right? And what I've heard was a person invite you back to your house. Let me just say this, right? You always can know somebody's intentions, right? Because if you let a fucking donkey talk long enough, they're gonna hee-haw.
Right.
Okay? So if have anybody told you, listen, let's go back to the house and smash, or you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing you saying, you said, why you invited me back to your house? Nothing wrong with that. If we have a clear understanding of what we both on, I don't feel like there's something wrong think about it. We go on to dinner, right? The reason for us to go to dinner is not to go fill your fucking belly. We wanna be in an atmosphere where we can talk and know what our intentions are and speak and know what you're about and what I'm about. So if a nigga ain't sitting there talking about your vagina and when last you had sex and stuff like that, then I don't think it's always about that.
Yeah.
So the intention of going on a date is trying to get to know where we stand and where we want to go from here. It's not to go eat bang bang shrimp and calamari.
Right.
You telling me to go with them?
I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you to go with them. I'm telling you to have an extensive conversation. While you fill in your stomach and try to get to know what people's intentions are. That's what I'm saying. But don't just jump to the conclusion that everybody wants your coco. That's what I'm saying. Just because I invite you to my house don't mean I want your coco.
Yeah. So you have to be transparent.
I feel like you're making the assumption that because they invite you to their house, they want coco right deal.
Then what? What's something that we can't talk there? Why does it have to be in your place?
And that's all you have to say too. That's all you have to say. Like, why we can't just have the conversation here?
Are you comfortable going back to your place?
No.
Or you don't want to be in no place. You just want to fill your belly and go home. That's bullshit.
That's not true. Because first of all, if I'm not feeling the person, I'm not feeling the food either. I can just eat and like I don't like the person. It's just not comfortable.
Well, I think you should I think like I said, because I'm what I'm picking up is that right now in the space that you're in, you just really need to do some self stuff.
What I'm picking up is she a young Tamara.
What are you talking about?
Oh gosh!
What are you talking about?
Oh gosh!
Translate, please.
Oh god!
I'm not able to see no comment, no nothing.
Yeah, me either. I don't see him no more either.
Yeah, me, I don't see nothing. So. But it's okay. I'm just gonna stay like that. There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm 42 years old. I'm 42.
So you're gonna play with your cat for the rest of your life?
She don't have to. No, she don't have to do that either.
I've never done that either. I don't even feel.
But listen, baby, listen. When you've been encountering the same thing over and over again, at some point you really have to come to yourself and say, you know what, something that I need to deal with. Personally, it's something I need to deal with.
I'm gonna jump out on a limb and I'm gonna say something. A lot of people may be offended. A lot of people may not agree. But in my world, the facts is the facts. Vagina is not as valuable as y'all think it is. It's not as valuable as it was one time. There's women out there that hold standard, and there's women out there that don't hold no standard at all, right? And there's more women not holding a standard than holding a standard out in the world today, right? So the majority of men that encounter women, they encounter the women that hold no standard majority of the time, right? So at the end of the day, a man is going to deal with you based on him thinking that you're one of those girls too, right? You have to be able to hold your standard and respect yourself,
right?
But at the same time, you have to also understand that not every man is out to get you,
right?
And I think that's what you're caught up in. I think you're caught up in believing that every man that comes in contact with you is out to get you. Vagina is not that important no more. It used to be back in the day rough to try to get some vagina from a girl. Sometimes you talk to a girl for 3-4 months, sometimes 6 months to a year before you even get to see her drawers. It's not like that today. Women are giving up vagina left, right, and center in the environment and space that we in today. So that's the advice that I have for you. Learn to understand that and to identify who's really out to get you and who's not. And it's rough. It's very rough out here today because there's a lot of men that are manipulators. A lot of men out here will play with your emotions and make you think that they not out to get you when they really are. It's a game out here. That's why I feel bad for a lot of women that's single and a lot of men that's single, because there's more games being played out here than people with that intentionally really want something serious.
Exactly. You said it all. So that's why it's just better to just stay in your own place, in your own side. Stay single and don't talk to nobody. And that's it.
No, you don't. I ain't gonna say stay single for the rest of your life. Yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't trying to stay single for my life. I ain't trying to be single for the rest of my life. I ain't doing that shit.
And then here, California.
But that's why you gotta. I tell people this. This been my biggest thing that God has had me on, because see, people lacking that. People are lacking that, and they're lacking the fact to have. Just ask God, because see, God don't let you know if these people mean you good or not. God is gonna give you the signs.
Good men.
Right, he's gonna give you the signs to let you know to not even be bothered with certain people. That's why you gotta discern these people's spirit.
Let me ask you a question. Majority of the men that try to date you, are they older than you?
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's easier to manipulate a younger woman than an older woman. Mm-hmm. What they bring to you, they're not gonna bring to Bella.
Yeah.
Because they gonna feel like Bella know this game just like I know this game, right? So it's easier to manipulate a younger woman, and that's why it's good to have a father figure. Unfortunately, your father passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. Condolences.
Yeah.
But an older uncle, an older brother, an older friend, and even sometimes that older friend, you got to be careful, because he might be manipulating you to get in your drawers too.
Right.
So you really, I would say, put God at the head of everything that you do, and ask God to guide you through this challenging season that we are in.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because it's real dangerous out here nowadays.
It is.
Real dangerous.
And you gotta have that. That's what I'm saying. We have to have God leading us and guiding us. At this point in life, the way things are going, we got to. Because some people, and you can't say all people. You can't say all men, all women, because all of us are not like that. All men ain't trying to, be that kind of way. All women not trying to be that kind of way. So we can't put it on everybody. But God has to be the center of it. Right now, in this time, this day, and this age, he has to be the center of it. He has to be the focus of it. Because I learned that, that with him, God has saved me from making some mistakes, at my age. Because we're still gonna come in. Hey, that's life.